Do 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 do. What's the word, people? It's your boy Mack.
It's your boy Big D. And we're back.
Back again with another legendary episode of the Mack and Don Show. We gotta be nearing on like episode like 70 or so, right?
I think we're in the 60s. Near 69.
60s, 70s, 69.
Yeah. We're
Shout
running
out.
it up. Running those numbers up.
We running it up. Shout out to all of our patronage, everyone that's ever watched our podcast, and if you're watching right now, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
How we feeling?
Oh, on this beautiful night, actually, with the weather and daylight savings time turning, I feel the tide turning with, you know,
Right.
the longer days and the warmer nights, you know.
For sure. How you think this is why like our ancestors or whatever had like the summer solstice celebration and like
Oh, yeah, because, like, the winter depression was going away.
yeah, exactly.
And so they're like, fuck.
They
Like,
just,
now
like-
we can let our titties out.
Yeah, they just didn't like know like how to put their like a word for it or their
Yeah.
like finger on it, but they're like
Now's the time.
all of a sudden I feel great. The sun is out. Things are starting to grow. And
This was the cure all along.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
like things are
It's the
that
cycle.
are dead are starting to be alive again.
It's the circle
Circle of life, as
Yeah.
they say. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Mufasa.
Shout out to that guy and all of the land that the light touches.
Right. Sex
Yeah.
for those shady places, you know. You're like, get one piece of shade, and you're like, meh, you out of here.
Yeah, and you kind of got a point, too, because I feel like generally most people want to live where it's warm, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
for the most
for
part.
sure.
Especially as you get older and in your retirement age, you see
Oh yeah, yeah,
elderly
yeah.
people move down to places like Florida.
yeah.
Closer to the equator, you know what I mean? You don't have to deal with snow, shit like that.
Yeah, you got a point. You've got a point. I mean, you don't ever see people like from like tropical conditions like in a real bad mood, you know. They're always like pretty chill guys.
They do always kind of got a smile on them, you know what I
Right.
mean?
But then you get that one guy from Boston, and he's just like, man,
yeah, he's got too much,
right.
too much. Like
You meet a
city
dude
life.
from New York, and he's like, man, fuck you.
the city life has worn him down in such a
But it's
manner.
also like cold as shit there.
yeah. Well, I guess that's a part of the New York City life is how goddamn cold it gets over there, right?
I mean, yeah, like New York, Boston, Philadelphia.
They get cold.
yeah,
lots of
yeah,
snow.
I'm thinking of like
you know.
all those type of places where like people seem angry.
Yeah. I mean, rightfully so.
Right, like I'm sure they're nice people, but they just seem like
On the contrary, you look
irritated.
you look at a place like Alaska, okay, and they have like months of nighttime. Like they have like several months of daylight, or only a couple months of daylight, and then the rest of the year is basically
Yeah, you got to look at their suicide rate or something.
true.
You know?
Yeah, they are adjacent to like Washington.
Maybe because maybe they're not having the best time up there in the dark months.
And you got to be built different to live in somewhere like Alaska.
Yeah, but I mean on the flip side, you got like days where it's only dark for like 2 hours. Like you go to sleep in the, you know,
Yeah, then it's too much. Then it's like
because
ugh.
like Earth is a sphere and the sun.
Imagine you went
know?
to sleep during daylight and you woke up and it was daylight.
That would seem weird to me.
I would be kind of pissed.
It's like whenever like when you go to sleep, you like have a little afternoon nap and you wake up and it's dark and you wake up all like discombobulated. You're like,
Yeah.
what dimension am I in?
Yeah, and if it was daylight, it'd be even more trippy because you wouldn't even know what time or what year it is.
Yeah,
You'd be like, wake up in another universe.
it'd be like it's like the sun's tirade. You know, it's like it's always there.
I don't know, actually.
Fair,
I'm just kidding.
fair. I don't like 100% know either. I've never stepped foot in Alaska, so
Right, yeah.
I did know a guy once. Though.
That, hey, we all know a guy. I would love to visit
I hear they have great hunting
bears.
and stuff. You
Right.
know, like outdoor activities. Like
Yeah, good bears. Hiking.
I'm sure they have 6 slopes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to hike, you know?
Yeah, I wonder like how much of it is like inhabitable.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough because I've seen some shows. You know, I'm not the most educated man, but, you know, the people that live out there and it's like Survival Man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's one called like Mountain Men or something like that, and they're all across the United States, and there's a couple of guys that live like super remote. One guy's a pilot, and he lives in Alaska, and he just has a prop plane, and he just flies out to his cabin. He's straight up got a daughter and a wife, and he just straight up living in like flying this prop plane, going to get supplies, like
damn,
surviving type shit, I guess, you know.
I mean, that's kind of crazy. I guess, like you said, you got to be built different. Why does it feel like Alaska's like our forgotten cousin or something though? Because
they're,
you know, they're like really separated by Canada. You couldn't like take a road trip there,
right? And
I mean, you
aren't
could,
they, like,
but like
really close to Russia too.
I mean, didn't we buy them from Russia?
Right. So they're like,
well, like if the land thing freezes over, you could walk there. You know.
Yeah, true. They're like not like forgotten, but they're kind of the middle child, I guess, or like kind of just like your wild card or your
but like on the flip side, like our other forgotten cousin Hawaii, like everybody loves to go on vacation.
That's the favorited cousin. That's the cousin that everybody loves and that you secretly are jealous of because he's so like tan and handsome and you know, like has the luau. Right. That's not what that's called.
I get the vibes. I get I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
Right. Yeah, just a really like I'm thinking of like a really handsome Samoan dude. You know.
And then I'm also thinking like that cousin that like is not really your cousin, but like they married in the family or something, or they're like a really good like family friend. Like that's Puerto Rico. I'm
thinking like a Jay, like cousin Jay, you know, or cousin Jerry, you know.
Yeah. I don't know why. Cousin Jerry seems like
cousin
Jerry seems like the weirdo of the family, if you know what I'm saying.
Fair.
Like you got Jerried.
Is it with a J? Or is it with a G?
With a J, for sure.
Okay. Because you're really weird if you got a G.
Either way, like...
Something ain't right?
Yeah, something
What if it was Gary?
Ooh, cousin Gary.
No?
I'm thinking of like an old decrepit dude, you know?
Yeah.
That's cousin Gary.
I always think SpongeBob.
But either way, that's all iterations of like Puerto Rico.
Sure.
Like,
I guess
like
you're right.
The cousin that like married in the family.
Right. Yeah. And you love to hate him, or you just love him?
You know, he's kind of just there.
Yeah. Does he give good gifts during the holidays?
Yeah. For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
See, that's tough. That's tough. You get a PlayStation 2 from your favorite uncle. It's like it's a game over.
Yeah.
Every other present doesn't even fucking matter.
Shout out.
You just remember that one present from that one year. You know.
God forsake us from Uncle Jerry. God.
Uncle Jerry got that out of a white van. Marked free candy.
That's his office.
That's my wife.
All right.
See, my mom fucked up when I was a kid trying to teach me not to talk to strangers because she was like, she prefaced it by saying that the stranger had a PlayStation 2. Okay. A van full of PlayStation 2s. Because she knew I loved to play my PlayStation, right? So she was trying to get me to be like, would you go into a van if a stranger offered you a PlayStation 2?
Right.
And she wanted me to say no, but I'm like, Ma, like, it's a van full of PlayStation 2s. Like, even if I got two of them, like, I can sell one and return the money. We can flip it and reverse it.
What games you playing? Like, you got GTA San Andreas on there?
I mean, we can worry about the games later. Don't even worry about it. Like we got two consoles. We got two consoles. We're gonna sell one console. We're gonna use that for game money. We're gonna keep one console. You know what I mean? At least two. If it's a van full of PlayStation. And I was trying to put my mom on a game. You know what I mean? But she wanted me to not talk to strangers. But you know, sometimes you gotta be brave.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hit that white van up for appliances.
It's a pretty good. I mean,
you
might have a nice little dishwasher.
If they got a sound system, I'm gonna take a look and I'm gonna see, like, do I gotta install it myself?
He's got secondhand goods.
at a discounted price.
I'm not gonna ask what else he does in that van.
It's all I really wanted to. You had me at discounted. Okay, it's like a Black Friday, but it's not even close to Black Friday.
Real spill though, like one time I was at the barbershop and it was like that episode of Atlanta where the dude starts cutting his hair and then he has like a million different things he needs to do before he gets back to cutting his hair.
Answering the phone call.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like, I'm gonna go out to my car real quick.
Right, exactly.
That's
so like for a minute I thought that's how it was gonna be because I pull up at the barbershop and like my barber is talking to this other dude next to this huge van, but it wasn't. It was like a blue van or something like that.
Huh.
And so I pull up in there like just chopping it up and like I'm waiting for them to get done, but like they just like steady talking and I'm over here like
I got my appointment.
I got my appointment like type shit.
I called this shit ahead of time.
Right. And then all of a sudden the dude was like, "What? You want a hat?" And I was like, "A hat
in the blue van?"
And yeah, dude opens up his van. He's got a plethora of like fitted hats, snapbacks, like whatever you want, whatever team you want, whatever size your head is. He was like, "What size is your head?" And I was like, "I mean, I don't really know." Like,
I like that Key and Peele skit with the hats.
Maybe.
It's like a Key and Peele skit.
But I was like, he was like, "What size is your head?" I was like, "I don't know. I wear snapbacks." Like,
what size is your head? It's crazy.
I just adjust the snap.
Who knows their head size? And then he was top.
Right. And he was like, "Nah, bro, I got fitteds. I got some fitteds in here." And he pulls out like a gang of Nuggets fitteds. He was like, "Who's your team?" I was like, "Nuggets." He was a gang of Nuggets fitteds, bro.
I know you asked about a hat.
Of course I did. And it was like for the low, like he got me that shit for like $30 when it was usually like 50.
Right.
Yeah.
Custom fitted.
Yes.
Say less.
Yeah, like
on the spot.
Fit your head
here.
exactly.
A mobile.
Yeah.
He showed up to your barber appointment.
Right. He gave me a card and everything.
Shit.
And I was like, all right, this worked out for the better, but out of the van conversation.
I respect the hustle.
But I'm just like, I feel like the van slingers or like, van entrepreneurs get a bad rap because of the chomos,
That's true. Yeah, it's hard to hustle in a van because of child predators.
Yes. Where's Chris Hansen when you need him?
He out there. He's still putting in work. Shout out.
He's still putting in work.
He's still out there putting in work.
Wait, but like
all these years.
Did you hear about why he had to stop doing To Catch a Predator?
Allegations?
Nah. Some type of U.S. senator got caught up. And he didn't they didn't cross reference or whatever.
Yeah.
So U.S. senator gets caught up and then he kills himself.
So allegedly, that's why Chris Hansen had to remove himself from To Catch a Predator, is because he uncovered some deep shit.
Right.
Speaking of which, did you see one of Alex Jones's reporters got murdered by gunfire on his way home from the InfoWars studio? Bless you.
Thank you. And what?
He got gunned down. A reporter from the InfoWars studio.
Hold up.
On the way home, bro.
But this is beside the point, but how's Alex Jones going to pay all that money?
Never.
Like,
there's also...
if that shit happens to you, do you got to pay it like in a lump sum?
Individual parents that came together to sue him. So like, was it like an individual lawsuit per victim? You know what I mean?
I mean, that kind of makes sense to me. Like, you get together and sue someone together.
Okay. But is it multiple cases or is it all under one case?
I don't know. All I know is like he's supposed to pay an outrageous amount of money.
Yeah, like $1 billion or something like that, or something crazy.
Some wild. Yeah. All I know is like.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
I don't know if I could still do it if I was that guy. Like, he's still out here doing InfoWars. Well,
here's the thing is he
probably got to do it. He's like, I need some money.
He just declares bankruptcy and then all that shit goes to the national debt.
Shit.
Like, it's just that easy. Like, he basically will get scrubbed clean. It's just going to get added to the total national debt.
Elon got to do something about that.
Well, he's not going to pay it all off.
But isn't he supposed to be lowering our debt? I'm just saying he should do something about that.
Yes. Well, he is.
I'm just like, I'm just saying if someone defaults, like it shouldn't like go to the taxpayers. Like,
well, technically,
should, like,
if you're uncovering all these unnecessary things that money has been going towards, so maybe we can start using that towards the national debt. You know?
No, yeah, but I'm just saying like you shouldn't be able to like add to the national debt like by declaring bankruptcy, like
right,
know,
true.
like everybody.
What
else
happens when somebody dies and they have a debt though?
I have no idea what happens.
It just gets like
don't they
seize your assets and they put
the kids gotta pay it? Huh? Don't the kids gotta pay it or something?
No.
Oh, okay, fair.
But they seize all your assets and then they put everything towards it. But if it doesn't, total up to that, then it goes towards the national debt.
I've been seeing people on the internet be like, run up a huge ass credit card bill or like take out a huge loan here in America and then just like skate out abroad because
they can't get you.
I mean, and like credit scores don't matter. That's different countries.
Hope and pray that you never have to go back to the U.S. or
I guess
U.S. embassy.
No, yeah, for sure.
You're gonna be basically on the run. You know what I mean? Like,
but like, I don't know if you'd be on the run, but like, you just like basically be bankrupt in America.
Yeah,
but true. Like, who cares? Because you're not there.
True.
Type shit.
Yeah. Like I said, you just have to hope and pray that the U.S. doesn't involve any of your plans in the future. Because if it does,
yeah. But I mean, even if you did get back, you would just be broke as fuck. Mm-hmm. You might shit like that. But I don't know. It seems like a pretty foolproof plan to me. Not that I would ever do that, but like if I ever like my back was against the wall, I'd just be like,
it's gonna be.
Let me commit fraud.
Like, how are they gonna do that in the future when like with space travel? You know what I mean? Like when you could travel to like Saturn and like all your Earth debt don't matter.
It'll just be like Han Solo. That motherfucker was running across the universe.
That's what I was thinking.
Just dodging debts.
Yeah, and like the only thing is people might try to come kill you every now and again.
I mean, yeah. Imagine you got intergalactic beef.
Exactly. That's what being a bounty hunter is. That's like a good song for. That's a good name for like a mixtape. Intergalactic beef.
Like it goes way past just your hood, bro.
That's
like,
a Playboy Cardi tape. Intergalactic beef. I'm here for it.
It goes way past your block, bro. Like who'll find your ass anywhere?
Yeah,
anywhere. It's on sight
through the time-space continuum.
Yeah, that's wild. That is crazy. Or to be like on Batman, where he just like escapes to a different country, and that whole speech that Alfred gives.
Oh yeah.
And like one day,
kind of fucked up though, because like he hopes to see him, but like he totally just like maybe go over and say hi to the guy that raised you your whole fucking life. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's like an unwritten, like not really unwritten, but it's like you both know the deal. Like we're just gonna,
I understand.
Here's just a little bit of Fernet.
I understand, but that's only your pop. You know what I mean? Your fucking real dad is dead, and that's your living dad. So
yeah,
maybe show some respect and go give him a kiss on the forehead or something.
I mean, he did keep him employed though for like.
Yeah, and he probably gave him a shit ton of money after his retirement or whatever.
I'm just saying, like,
Master Wayne.
I feel like it'd be a lot of pressure to like have a butler all the time,
Pressure?
But like, at one point you'd have to off that dude because he knows too much,
seeing too many things.
Yeah, exactly. Like, imagine he knows like all your deep dirty secrets. Like, you done hit bodies with this dude and like a whole bunch of shit. I'm just
imagining like Batman like watching Alfred like inside the mansion and like you know what I mean. Like he's like I have to get rid of him. You know what I mean? Like he's getting ready to like sees him because he's seen too much of like
what. But that would be like the ultimate betrayal, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean,
like, I'm not saying Batman, I'm just saying if he was like not a regular dude, but like a regular rich dude that like might be doing some dirt on the side, some Marty.
Oh, okay.
If you were like a Marty Bird type shit.
I was saying like maybe he caught you jacking it in a closet or I'm like,
no, like, I'm talking
Wayne, what are you doing? And then he's like,
nah, I'm talking like
fucking kill Alfred.
I'm talking like he's helped you hide like a couple bodies, like he's helped you launder a little bit of money, like
just like the Penguin.
He knows your whole exactly. Like he had to off Vic. The motherfucker knew too much.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler, big spoiler, just random, super random, big, huge, big spoiler for the Penguin.
But it only proves my point that like,
yeah,
this whole like Butler arrangement only like goes so far. You're gonna have to off that dude at some point.
it's diabolical.
It's like when Franklin had to shoot at that one guy.
Yeah,
that was Kevin. He had to shoot Kevin.
That's why just recently when I was like, I hope you don't stay up at late at night plotting on me, and you're like, never, my friend, and I'm like, okay, but isn't that exactly what somebody would say?
No, yeah, that is exactly what someone would say. No, 100%.
Exactly. He's just waiting to just bring me to Central Park and fucking put me on the bench.
Oh, look, I'm just saying that'd be the ultimate betrayal, you know?
Yeah. Fun little thing that I saw. I was, scouring the internet as I do. I saw that Vic might potentially become the Robin of the future if he ends up getting resuscitated. Batman might take him. Be able to see that. Batman might take him underneath his wing, and he might turn into a Red Hood type of guy.
The DEI type things, like he's like half black and half Puerto Rican or something, right? Or half Dominican or something.
Yeah, so he could be like a Jason Todd like type of Robin Hood, where he turns into the Red Hood. But
like the biracial version.
Yeah, basically. They're already doing it with every other character. So
right. I fuck with that.
Yeah, I thought if anything, it's a great fan theory. It's a great fan theory.
Are they going to do a season 2 of the Penguin? Or
yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Listen, Mac. If it makes money, I
was about to say,
they're not gonna do one season.
Are they just gonna milk it for all it's got though, or is it gonna actually be good?
There's no question. That's not even a question in my mind because they don't do that. They don't do that where they only shelve projects after the first season if they don't make enough money.
I'm just saying you got to find that like sweet spot. Like you don't want to be like Aaron Rodgers out here like in like the twilight of your career, like just fucking shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, you want to leave at the exact right time.
You know how I was telling you.
You almost want to like leave them missing you a little bit.
You know how I was telling you with the Disney IPs, how they have to create a movie every so many years. It's like that in a way where they're not willing to lose out on the money all these years later, right? This is like 50 years later.
I just don't want it to be like Stranger Things, right? It's just like
it will
keep making them, and it's just like no.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Like if they would have stopped at like a certain point, it would have been legendary.
It's like Black Mirror. It's like Black Mirror.
They're making a season 7.
Black Mirror started to fall off. I didn't know that. Black Mirror started to fall off with all the like newer episodes, and it's because when you do something for so long, it starts to just fall off, and people are going to be like, season 1 through 3 were the best seasons, and then anything after that was garbage, which is fine. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own opinion. Same thing with like Game of Thrones or anything. In my personal opinion,
I don't know. Game of Thrones, I feel like wrapped up like perfectly, like.
But it had a rushed ending. I think it's George R.R. Martin wasn't even finished writing the series. Like by the time they had gotten to that point, so they had to like be like, okay, well, we're just gonna wrap this up, and then fans hated it, and so that's kind of like my stipulation.
Wait, you mean to tell me that they just like made up their own story?
They concluded it. They finished it,
and so like he still has to write an ending for himself.
It's probably gonna align with the show now. Because of the popularity of the show, it grew.
That don't make no fucking sense.
It's the timeline of everything that happened. Like they had overlapped, basically.
No, I get it, but just wait or stop.
Right. But the money, they have to. It's a churning machine, and they have to just keep feeding it, and they can't let the light die out. You know what I mean? They're just chasing the dragon, basically.
That seems real.
They're just chasing the dragon, the white dragon.
Nice one. Okay, no, that don't make no fucking sense. So that's fucking weird. I don't know about that.
It's just money.
I mean, I guess, but like,
and every single franchise does this where they milk the cow. They just milk the cow until it's dead, and then they beat the dead cow. Same thing with
Marvel.
Marvel happening right before our eyes, by the way, with Marvel. Fast and Furious.
Definitely.
Fast and the Furious probably should have stopped at Tokyo Drift. Let's be real. It's
a good one.
Let's end it there. But they kept going and they kept going. And next thing you know,
once the motherfuckers
10?
got superpowers,
You're
like
at 10?
doing some like
Get the fuck out of here.
telekinesis.
Get the fuck out of here. Friday the 13th. Great horror movie. Why is there 10, 15 different
because you got to come
Jason
back.
movies?
You got to come back 20 years later. Like
You can do that in the trilogy.
doom doom.
You could do that in a trilogy. You could pull that off in a trilogy.
It's like you wasn't getting rid of me.
The perfect number, I've said this before, the perfect number is a trilogy, right? Star Wars has proved this. Lord of the Rings has proved this. People love things in threes. It's a beginning, a middle, and an end. Lord of the Rings is, in my opinion, a perfect set of movies. Like, there's not one that's necessarily better than the other. It's like one long movie, but they're so great. Sometimes, not
I feel like
always.
there's not a perfect number. I just feel like you have to tell the perfect
that's what I'm
story.
saying.
Like it has, like, if the story can be told in 2 movies,
That's what I'm saying.
boom.
Sometimes
There's no need to stretch it to a third. Just
sometimes it can be pulled off in a sequel. Sometimes only,
but like even
it's
if
very few and far between.
but even if it's just one, like if it's
That's what I'm saying. Is
done, it's done. Like,
there's
if
so
that's the
many more
story,
bad
it's a
sequels.
story.
There's-
100%.
There's so many bad sequels.
That's like the
but if maybe
running joke. Like the sequel's always bad.
exactly. But sometimes the sequel is good.
Like The Empire Strikes Back. That's just fire.
Exactly. Sometimes the sequel is
Like,
good.
in my opinion, better than A New Hope.
But that's a trilogy, right? So like, if you set it up as a trilogy, then the sequel
like, you
is
had-
more likely to succeed.
No, for sure. But you had to wrap up. Like you couldn't leave it on a cliffhanger after the second. Like Luke, I am your father. Like you gotta wrap that up.
Yeah.
Like you gotta have a third movie because of the story.
Technically, yes.
I'm just saying, like,
you could
there's.
probably do it in 2 movies, but
I mean,
the
maybe.
sequel
I'm
would
just
be
saying
bad.
no, sure, for sure. But I'm just saying to me, there's no like perfect amount. Like it's just whatever the story needs in order to be complete.
You're
in order
familiar
to-
with like the rule of thirds, though, right?
I mean, yeah.
It's like geometrically like a law of the universe. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like thirds are attract our eye. It is like alluring to us. I just think like things that come in threes are just like for the masses, for the majority of people. I think that they enjoy things in threes.
I mean, that's why they call it the big 3. You know,
Everything is in 3. You know what I mean? And that's why I said like sequels can be
LeBron, Wade,
sequels can be great,
Chris Bosh,
but it's so rare that a sequel will actually be good.
Drake, Kendrick, Cole,
Not in that order.
the dick and the 2 balls.
Whoa. True.
You know,
Yeah.
great things coming through you.
The family jewels.
You brought it up. You brought the 3s. You
Yeah.
brought
The top 3.
Top 3. I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I just feel like, I mean, yeah, because like Dune, for example, sucked. I hated Dune. Hated the first Dune, hated the second Dune. Didn't like either of them. And they were boring.
I don't know if I even watched it, either of them.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that.
In my opinion, they were super boring, like not even worth watching. And, you know,
All right, without knowing anything about the new, because I just saw this earlier today that they're making a new season of Black Mirror. Without knowing anything about it, what do you want from it? What do you wish they would do? If you were, I forget his last name, like Charlie something. Like if you were the guy that created Black Mirror, like where would you go?
to my roots, and I would go back and watch season 1 and season 2 and revisit what had made the series what it is.
But I feel like Black Mirror's like kind of weird, where like kind of the first season.
I'm just saying, getting in the mindset that you were at that time.
Fair.
I'm not saying
But also like, how do I explain this? Like the first,
creatively. I'm just saying creative.
No, yeah, for sure. But like the first season, like what year did that come out? Like
15.
fair. Either way, I feel like technology, because like that's mostly what it's about. Like that's what
Right. Exactly.
like the title is a reference to is your phone is
exactly.
Black Mirror. So I'm just saying like technology and like even like a lot of the stuff that they even like predicted through some of the episodes like ended up becoming true like in real life. So it's just like, where do you go when almost like what you wanted to talk about is just right before your eyes? You know what I'm saying? Like, I even feel like they didn't even lean on technology at like like maybe a little bit, but in the last season, like it was barely even about technology. Like it was that one episode with the astronauts that was like a little bit of technology, but it's mostly like emotion driven and like story driven.
Right.
Whereas I feel like in the past it was like crazy technology plus like a crazy concept or a crazy story.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, a dichotomy. You gotta have like a story or like a theme, right? It's like a basic structure or a frame,
or like something you want to explore,
exactly,
or a concept you want to explore.
There you go. The concept could be very simple. It could be dating. It could be and a lot of them are about dating. You know, most of them are about dating. For sure. The concept can be very simple, but the delivery is the technology aspect and all that, and that's kind of where I was kind of saying like go back to the mindset that you were at originally, so that way you can start to predict the future again. Because for like you were saying, it's kind of like they have like this weird like prediction of the future, or maybe like in their minds what they think will happen in the future, which is awesome. You know what I mean? We need more of that. I miss when like, you know, back in the 50s, they would like fascinate about people with jetpacks, like the people of tomorrow. And they'll like, go to their daily jobs on a jetpack. Like you don't kind of see stuff like that today. You don't see like people 50 years down the line doing like teleportation, you know, or whatever it may be.
For sure.
I think that like they need to get back into that mind state so they can think outside the box and be like, well, you know, what if technology was hurting humanity in this way? You know, like what if your phone was your enemy? You know, like just kind of get back to those basic concepts, like we were talking about, like super basic concepts. Dating. There's that one with the reviews where you give your fellow people like a 5-star,
almost like a social credit score.
Exactly. Like that's a basic concept that like ends up complex. It's got layers. It's multi-layered.
Right. And like a lot of the like AI stuff, like the Chat GPT.
They haven't really done too much AI stuff, but they could, like now that we have so much more like AI stuff.
In the past seasons.
I'm thinking like thinking of new episodes, like like new ideas that they could come up with. For like nowadays, like AI is so prevalent, like you could sink your teeth into people's fears by tapping into the AI and being like, oh, like AI is going to take over your refrigerator.
For sure.
You just wake up and all your...
it already has.
Yeah, like, but like to a hyperbolized view in the episode where like maybe your food starts to go rotten and you can't figure out why. The temperature just keeps like going higher and higher, but it's actually like your fridge is becoming sentient, and then or it's like your toaster starts to become
poison into you.
Yeah, your toaster starts to become sentient, and then it starts burning all your toast, like just turning it into a crisp. And then she comes in and the toaster's on fire, the refrigerator's just like flapping, like that. Like you and I just came up with like a little thing on the spot so they could come up with something like that, you know. Just like maybe a single lady, you know what I mean, just trying to make it out on her own, and then all of the appliances in her house start fucking going haywire on her. You know,
there's like a Disney movie like that,
Smart House.
Yeah, exactly.
But like more so like they're just appliances, so it'll be like a ceiling fan, but the ceiling fan will just go into like super fast mode, and then it'll like drop on her, you know what I mean? And so
I used to have nightmares like that, like
so
you ever, like when you were a kid, like have one of those ones where it's like going so fast or it's almost like shaking. Yeah, you're like, that bitch gonna fall. So
it taps into a childhood fear that you have.
No, yeah, 100%.
That hundreds, if not thousands of other kids have that same fear.
For sure.
And so you could throw that into an episode and it falls on the girl, and then it's like, oh fuck, like didn't think that was gonna fall on the girl. Like it could be that simple, but
for sure.
But too busy milking the cow
Right.
that they need to bring Miley Cyrus in.
I don't know if it's really milking a cow because I feel like there's
listen, like they're bringing in Miley Cyrus now. They're bringing in Selma Hayek, and they're doing all this.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
The first episodes, we have a lot of people that we don't even. They're just low. Like most of the episodes, I don't know a single person. You know what I mean? Like
right.
And then now they have to have Miley Cyrus on. Now they have to have Selma
They
Hayek.
had Franklin
And
saying that, but
Jesse was in that space episode, and like, is that completely necessary? Could you go back to your roots and get these unknown named people and then do something fucked up, do something fucking crazy, and then blow my mind and be like, that was fucked up, and I'm gonna be thinking about that for a week. Versus I watched Miley Cyrus and I was like, I thought about that for 5 seconds after and never thought about it again.
That was kind of weak, and that was the season with only 3 episodes.
I like stuff that is thought provoking and like goes to your core.
Right. But there's a almost like a need or a want for that in the culture. Like it's not like, that's kind of like the opposite of milking the cow. Like there's a want for that. There's a need for that in the culture. Like there's almost like a hole, not a hole, but like a, there's people wanting that and they're not putting it out. There's a need for it. So I feel like there's like other things. Like we were talking the other day, like very briefly about Severance. I feel like that's kind of like a Black Mirror-esque concept.
True. Yeah. And it's so it's so esoteric.
Right.
Like, have you seen season 1?
Yeah, like I'm towards the end of the season 1 right now.
Okay.
But like just the concept
it's
of it just
so
seems
like you're trying to get for me anyway, you're trying to get a grasp on things, and just when you think you kind of have like an idea of what's going on, they throw you for a loop. You know what I mean?
Right,
like
for sure.
Black ooze starts coming from the ceiling or whatever, and it's like, whoa, what are we talking about here? And then he goes back home and he's having a normal life with his sister, and then she starts having a baby, and so you're like in this normal state, and then they rip the rug right out from underneath you, and you're back like doing the letters, and there's like the boxes with the letters, and that's their work, and he's like, what am I looking for? And he's like, you'll just know. And it's just like fucking weird. It's so fucking weird, but I love it. It's
right.
And that's Ben Stiller. That's Ben Stiller.
Yeah. But I mean, that is like for sure like a critique on like
corporate America.
Yeah, corporate America. I hate to be like a cliche and be like it's a critique on capitalism, but like
it is.
It really is.
100%.
Yeah. But
it's taking it to a hyperbolized state, though.
Right.
It's taking a basic concept.
I think possibly it's not even a critique. I think it's almost like a nod, like to it, like
the system.
Yeah, because like it basically saying like it could be more fucked up. Like,
yeah, that's a good take. And these people are trying to literally sever their lives.
Right. Like initially the concept seems like a good idea.
And the concept being like, you go to your 9 to 5 and you don't experience what happens at your 9 to 5, but another sentient conscious version of you does during the 9 to 5.
Now I kind of have a question.
You don't have any access to the memories or experiences in that 9 to 5, just for anybody who hasn't seen it.
Now I kind of have a question. It's not like a clone, like they're making a different person of you. It's you, it's your same body, it's your same self. You're just not conscious when you are at work.
Yeah, and they also lock the memories away, right? They like you create the memories and then they don't give you access to those memories.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because those memories exist in your head because it's still you.
Right. So you're just still the same person, and it's not like you're two places at one time.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. You're literally creating these experiences. And that was you remember the stairway scene where he's trying to leave and he keeps just walking back into the hallway?
The lady?
Well, they both do. Well, yeah, she's trying to leave and then they're both like walking through the door basically.
Yeah, that's trippy, man. Would you do it?
I mean, probably if I didn't know the repercussions.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where you're just like, oh, that low-key like sounds like a good idea. Like
you get paid $40 an hour. You just don't get to know top secret information that the government doesn't want you to know. And you work a 9 to 5. That's all you need to know.
I mean, yeah, like it seems pretty like,
and they're not
intriguing.
And they probably don't like. Yeah, they probably don't divulge very much information, so it's basically like take it or leave it situation. Do you want $40 an hour? Well, I'm poor and I kind of could use that money. So of course, right?
I mean, yeah, for sure. But at the same time, it's like,
I'm not saying
I don't know, just the way they frame it. Like they even call like their other person like an Audi, like it's a whole different person. That's the way they kind of frame it. That's kind of the way they start to revolt because they're like,
well, because
almost like it's two different people, even though it's the same person.
Their innie has no memories of the Audi,
so right, for sure.
So it's almost like they wipe your fucking mind. It's almost like they split your mind down the middle. And then you have like two fucking. It's
almost like they sever
multi-personalities. It's almost like they severed your personalities.
Right, but I mean that begs the question: are you the same? Well, I mean, like I guess in like real life, you're not the same person you are at work than you are like in real life or like in your day, like
or like somebody that suffers from multi-personality disorder. Like,
I mean, yeah,
they're still the same person, but if you took like a MRI scan of their brain, they literally believe themselves to be that, like their brain functions actually like reflect like that of, you know, a woman or, you know, like.
But I don't think that it would really happen in this case. Like I think they're like you said, they're still the same person.
I think that they're somehow like able to split the personalities, like a multi-personality disorder type of thing. But the other personality is like.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I was thinking like Petey seemed a lot different like in like the flashbacks and stuff than he did like when he was before he died.
Right.
But he was also like recently unsevered or whatever.
Yeah.
What's also trippy is like some of the like you said, some of the characters are unsevered, like the boss lady. I forget her name.
Right. Yeah. And the black bodyguard dude.
Milchick?
Yes, Milchick.
Yeah. So they're not even severed.
Right.
But they act like they like play like they are.
They play the role. Yeah. They do it up. It's almost theatrical in a way.
Right.
And the theatrical part comes from like the meaninglessness of the show itself. Like not the show, but their work. Okay. It's like they're trying to find the meaning or the purpose in their work, but to the audience, it's like kind of purposeless or meaningless.
Right. I just feel like that's like a meta commentary just on office culture.
Right.
All that type of stuff.
Like, right. It's just typing on a computer. Right.
Right. Like you ever like read those Reddit threads or like listen to those Reddit threads where people are just like,
going off about like their 9 to 5.
Yeah, or they say that I haven't done anything in my 9 to 5 for the past 10 years and they just pay me anyways.
Yeah.
Like I just go in and I clock in and I barely do shit on my computer and I leave.
Right. So okay. So is it more of a commentary of like they're not doing anything, or is it like purposeful? You know what I mean? Like the purpose statement of like what they're doing.
Yeah, I think it almost doesn't matter because it's like. You're just there for work anyways.
And it, like, what is it doing?
Because the only purpose of having purpose in work is to fulfill your real life.
Right. And what is it doing except for creating that black sludge, right? It's almost like creating a dark entity when you're doing it. I
haven't gotten that far.
It's throughout season 1, like with...
I know Irving's having the dreams wherever he falls asleep at his desk. And he gets
and I don't even, to be completely honest, they don't even clear that up. So it's like, is that even a dream? I don't think that's a dream. I think that's a meta commentary on like the sludge or the like almost the like meaninglessness.
BoJack Horseman with the sludge.
Yeah, it's meaningless, and so like it's nothingness, and so it's like the meaningless. I mean, that
doesn't make sense because he's just like he almost like blurs like
reality in his dreams.
Yeah, like he's so like bored out of his mind, or it's so mind numbing.
So like, his creativity is coming through.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, but I was just thinking like. He couldn't even differentiate. Am I awake? Am I asleep? Like it doesn't even matter. Like it's this stuff is so mind numbing. It's like, but yeah, that makes
exactly
sense.
Like the very act of doing the work is what creates that stuff. So it's like, so is doing that causing them harm? You know what I mean? Or is it you know? like a meta commentary or whatever. But it's really weird with the goats and the the portraits. And he was like super obsessed with the portrait that was taken of the great office war. It was like two and like rivaling sides.
Like the O&D people, like they seem like pretty chill and happy. Where like the four people sitting there at a desk, like they seem like
tripping, like tripping because they're like, what the fuck are we doing? Type of shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
almost like it seemed like that lady was a catalyst. Like it makes sense that the series started off with her, but like it seemed like before then, like it was like business as usual. And
it's almost like she's a glitch in the system, kind of like
some
outlier.
What's his name? Some Matrix type shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
exactly.
Matrix,
That's a great comparison.
The beginning of the Matrix is kind of the exact same way. Like
very good comparison. Yeah.
But yeah, where she's almost like the Neo, like there to
she's like
save.
She's like Alice in Wonderland,
or to like open up their minds.
She's going down the rabbit hole, brother. She's Alice in Wonderland, brother. Like the allegory of the girl falling down the rabbit hole, like. This is her in Wonderland kind of type of thing. So maybe that is a little bit of some inspiration there.
Yeah,
I could totally see that because we were just watching that. So I was thinking like, that's fresh on the mind. So I could totally see that because literally she's the only girl. You know what I mean? In a like a Mad Hatter kind of like type of world, like funkadelic. Sure. So, yeah, and
you notice how like all the shots are like perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the office.
Purposeful. Yeah, very purposeful.
Yeah, like
purposefully symmetrical.
Fold that bitch right in half.
Yeah.
And everything would be equal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's almost like too perfect, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean specifically, like I think it's almost unnerving to us.
Right.
When things are like perfectly white. Like when the hallway is just like all white. It's no blemish. Not a
fluorescent lighting is weird.
Yeah. It's just like your mind is just like, it seems porcelain and like dollish. It's like, it should have imperfections because our eyes are so good at like picking up the pores on like a human face, you know, and stuff like that. So it's really unnerving when you see everything's like in corporate America is like perfect. It's just everything's symmetrical and 90-degree lines, and it's just it's unnerving. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, definitely. But like it also seems like kind of like communistic, like the way they're like always worshiping.
True.
Or maybe not.
I just realized it's unnatural because nature is very random, and like if you went into a jungle, it would be like very super random.
It's random till it's not.
Yeah, there's patterns and stuff like that, but like versus a perfect white hallway that's like straight and narrow. Right. You know what I mean? Versus like you go to a nature and you're going on a hike, like almost nothing's kind of perfectly symmetrical. Like sometimes, you know what I mean? And
it's not perfect in the
symmetrical kind of way.
It's not in that way.
And I think that is maybe what I'm saying. Like you look at a tree and it maybe has like it's like curved or like leaning, and so it's kind of like. We're from nature, you know, nature's all around us. And so when things are like straight and narrow, it kind of like catches our eye, you know, like, and so that is what is like kind of like a little bit weird, I guess.
For sure. That's crazy.
Yeah. Great show. And I'm excited to watch the new season for sure. I haven't started the new season, but my mom started season 1 over, and I watched it recently enough that I have it like fresh in my mind. You know, I kind of
it's pretty crazy.
Know what happened, but I'm excited for this new season. I heard it's already pretty good.
Right. What do you think about? Well, I guess kind of already know if you played the game, but Last of Us, they're coming out with new season.
Yeah,
pretty soon.
It's crazy. I know we were talking about.
We were pretty heavy on the last season.
Yeah, like not even that long ago, we were talking about the Last of Us.
Yeah.
And we were given the synopsis of the last season, but I mean, I guess we have to watch this new season. And
we got to see what happens to our guy.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I feel the same way.
After he just went on a terroristic rampage.
Even though, like, if you
went Rambo in that bitch.
Yeah, true. Even though if you played the game, you know, like, what's going to happen, basically.
Right.
Just inevitably, like, inevitable doom type of thing, I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm still pretty interested to see how they pull it off on the silver screen.
Yeah, it's going to be very emotional, very, you know, apocalyptic.
Right.
It's going to be fun.
Fun it will be, buddy.
Fun ride, yeah.
What else are we looking forward to watching this spring/summer as far as movies?
Invincible.
Are they coming out with a new one?
There's a new season out right now, and they're dropping episodes like every week, I think.
Yeah, my nephew keeps wanting to watch that, and I'm just like, let's not.
It's pretty.
I don't think this is for kids. He's like, it's animated.
I'm torn.
I was like, I know.
I'm torn because like I like it. Part of me likes it, but the other part of me is like the animation is like not up to par. Like it's kind of weak, I guess you could say.
I mean, yeah.
Like by anime standards and by just like regular action standards, like it's literally just like freeze frames of a character sometimes, and then them like clicking and dragging that character across, and like that to me is like unacceptable because like you could totally go above and beyond and like make the punch have like impact and like like really do it up. Like there have been lots of Japanese anime that have done a lot more with a lot less, doing those action lines, you know what I mean? Like just kind of like really drawing it out and kind of like giving you sense of momentum, and like that's where the action comes from. Is like a lot of people love animes for the fighting, right? And the fighting is like you want to feel the punches, you want to feel like, you know, you're like getting one over, or, you know, the seesaw of like getting one over on you.
For sure.
And so I feel like with Invincible, they slack until the finale, and then you get a great finale and everybody cheers for the finale. But it's like they could be doing better animation is my only critique. Fair.
That makes sense.
It's just like
my only pushback
panels.
I feel that makes sense. My only pushback on that would be like almost maybe they're doing that on purpose so that you like more so pay attention to the storyline.
You know, people are quick to say.
Or I'm thinking like
produce
something like South Park or something like that, where it's like I know that's not necessarily anime and this is trying to be anime, but like something in that vein where it's like it's almost so crude that like it's purposely crude and
to me
done. You know,
to me. It's almost like big companies use that as an excuse. Like when Flash came out and people hated the like Flash CGI and it was like, this looks terrible. The company came out and was like, it's supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look like gritty, blah, blah. And then everybody's like, right, it's supposed to look like shit. Like, you know, like basically like it's just their excuse to be like, well, it was supposed to look like that, when in reality, they were probably like, here's your deadline and you better like give us some quality work by 3 months from now. And then they had to like do what they could with what they had. You know what I mean? It's usually not the CGI guys. It's usually like the higher ups that are like, you've got a deadline of Christmas and that's next month. And so you better do as much CGI as you can with that. And they do, but then sometimes it comes out looking like shit. But to me, there's like no excuse because, like I said,
imagine you're that guy, you're just like, ooh, it does kind of look like shit. And you're like, oh man,
and you're just working on it, and you just hope, and you're like, fuck, well, got to send it to my boss.
Yeah, well,
they're gonna drop it.
What can you do?
With like Invincible, like they're from Amazon, you know what I mean? They're a Prime exclusive or whatever, so they like there's no excuse. Like that's just like them cutting corners, you know, and they could go above and beyond, but they don't.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like you look at something like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and it's like so like
they better put that shit out ASAP.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess I'm part of the problem, but motherfucker, why would you even end the movie like that and then have us wait like fucking so long?
We're older and wiser since the last time we watched that movie.
So yeah,
Low-key. Like Loki, like
what was that like?
Years. we
look at us
now that we're men, like type shit. Like
you turn 25, motherfuckers start talking like this.
I know. We grew up into men before fucking the finale came out.
Yeah, why would they even end?
I hate to see that.
I don't.
But that goes back to my trilogy thing. I think they're trying to do a trilogy.
You know what? That makes sense because towards the end of that movie, I thought they was gonna keep going. I was looking at my watch like, they really about to wrap this shit up in like 15 minutes? How the fuck?
My eyelids was getting heavy around the when he was like in the other universe or whatever, and he was talking to Uncle Aaron. Yeah, and like the other Uncle Aaron or whatever.
Yeah,
I was like, my eyelids was getting heavy, dude. I was like, when is this shit gonna end?
I guess I was caught up in the moment, but I was still like, dang, this movie is long. In my head, I was thinking, how the fuck are they gonna wrap this up in 10, 15 minutes? I was like, how are they gonna pull this off?
Dang.
And to be continued. And I was like, okay.
You know what's crazy though? Right now, like tomorrow morning, like people are gonna get up and like go work on the sequel.
They better. I'm waiting.
Like, that's what's crazy.
Why didn't, if they know that it's going to be 3 movies, why didn't they just do it Lord of the Rings style where they have all 3 of them
at the same time? Right around the same time?
Or at least shoot it or have it in production.
I think it's because they didn't like
then set a date.
I think it's because nowadays, like, you don't know if a movie's gonna flop or not. Like
it's fucking Spider-Man,
right? But like, did you watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
No, I'm not the target audience though. You know, that's for kids.
See, that somebody would say that about Spider-Man. So it's like, so like you drop a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie and you expect it to do as good as Spider-Man.
Nah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I feel like that was like late 80s 90s thing, and like we kind of skipped our generation.
You don't fuck with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
It's not that I don't fuck with them, or I'm not aware of them, or they weren't like a
of course you're aware of them,
but I feel like they were a bigger thing in the earlier 90s, and then like right now when they're coming up again. So you either got to be like 30 plus or like just now being a kid.
So we missed our opportunity.
In my opinion, like,
to be fans.
In my opinion, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles isn't like one of those like things like when I was a kid, I was like, oh yeah. To me, it was motherfucking Sam Raimi Spider-Man in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like when Spider-Man comes out again, I'm in there like swimwear. It don't matter who Peter Parker is. I fuck with Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
So yeah.
The timelines that match up. But yeah, I mean, just I guess like the IP of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like you kind of expect it to do great,
right?
But then it doesn't do as great, and so like with Spider-Man, it's like it did so great that they're like, all right, bankroll two more movies on top of that bitch.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine they made all 3 of the movies and they had them in the chamber ready to.
That's what I'm saying. They're not prepared
and they had
for that.
3 summers in a row where
they just don't think that far ahead. They're just like, this may or may not flop.
It'd have been over by now. Then.
Yeah,
it'd have been.
Of course, it would.
The first one came in like 2019.
Best case scenario. Yeah. It would have been done in 2022.
Exactly. And we would have got all 3 movies, and it would have been legendary.
2021.
They could even be working on a new sequel or a whole new motherfucking universe for Spider-Man right now.
That's best case scenario. Yeah, you're smarter than thousands of motherfuckers in Hollywood, but I'm just saying.
I guess it's like the writers thingy or whatever, maybe.
Yeah, COVID, shit like that, but it's still, I mean, it's fucked up.
I'm just saying.
It ain't right. Invincible, like
the people are suffering.
The Invincible, like they do. I think they did like half. Didn't they do the last season? They did like half of the season up until November, and then the rest of it was like February to May. And I was like, get the fuck out of here! Remember that? Get the fuck out of here! You're gonna do half of a season. Well, at the beginning of the year.
That's what they did for Ozark.
Really?
Remember?
Oh, yeah. There was that cliffhanger.
Yeah. And then they came back. And then that's what they did for the latest season of...
I'm not a fan. Finish your shit.
We just talked about the show. Stranger Things. That's what they did for the latest season of Stranger Things, too.
Really?
They put their first half out and then had you wait like a couple weeks, a month.
I'm not a fan.
Then boom.
I'm like, dude.
Second half.
Finish. Record it. Just record the whole thing.
What do you like better, like it comes out every Sunday or every Friday?
Yeah, but already have it recorded.
No, yeah, for sure.
And then drop it week by week. Like kind of like how we do the pod. Like
you think that's not recorded yet and that's why they're doing that? Or you think that's just strategic to build up hype? Well, like kind of have like a cliffhanger in the middle of the season.
Like a Jerry Seinfeld type of show. They record it like the week prior, and then
it
posts the Sunday. You know,
I mean, you could do that with like shows like that, but
right.
like when it's a big production where it's like damn near a movie and each episode's an hour long.
You would do like long form. And,
I'm pretty sure they have all those done. I'm pretty sure it's all recorded. That's just the way they're dropping it.
I don't know. It depends on the show. Because if it's like Teen Wolf, I think like Teen Wolf would.
Well, yeah, like Teen Wolf or something like that.
And that's most shows. You know what I mean? Reality Housewives, like.
No, that for sure. But I'm saying like these bigger shows like Ozark, the ones that need like a lot of work, a lot of animation.
Maybe they're week by week.
Filming week by week?
Yeah.
You think it takes a week to film damn near a movie?
An episode.
To have it all done in 1 week?
Yeah, week by week. I think if you have to team up people, then yeah. A TV show. That's why TV shows are always lower budget.
You think the things like Ozark and all that are lower budget?
No.
That's basically a 16-hour long movie.
Yeah, but like Ozark isn't using like fancy Marvel CGI where they're like going through space and they have like an aura of light surrounding them.
I get it.
It's like very based in reality, and you don't need very much money to have Jason Bateman stand behind a counter and then talk about money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think maybe it's not on the Marvel level.
I think that Monday through Friday, I think that with...
Or what about Penguin? You think just a week turnaround?
That is a tough question.
There's no fucking way.
Did they drop the whole season at once?
No, they dropped it week by week.
They did drop it week by week.
But I'm saying they probably had all of them recorded. That's just the way that they're deciding to drop it.
If you're doing prosthetics that take like 3+ hours... like the Penguin, it's completely different. Versus Jason Bateman is not the Penguin, right? And then what's her name is not
those shows that are like that. Even like Severance, like those ones that are like basically an hour-long movie. Mm-hmm. They're filming all that.
Well, Severance doesn't drop episode by episode.
I know. I'm saying it doesn't matter how they're dropping.
They just drop the whole season.
I get it. I'm telling you, they have no matter how they're dropping.
We're talking about week by week. We're talking
I get it. What about Game of Thrones? That dropped week by week.
Right, so they would record that ahead of time.
That's what I'm saying. Every single show does that. Not
every single show.
Okay, maybe not. Definitely not South Park because they do their stuff like that. But I'm just saying those bigger budget, those...
I'm saying even Ozark, you could probably get away doing it in a week just because it's Jason Bateman standing around doing dialogue. And I don't think that really matters. Monday through Friday, even if it was Monday through Friday and you had every single day in a work week and you recorded the same scene, I think that you can pump out a 30 to 40 minute episode by the time it's... But if you had a team of people... Even
like How I Met Your Mother and all that type of stuff, they film the whole season and then have it drop week by week.
Mm-hmm. I guess like it depends on like which show it is.
I guess, but I'm just saying like that's like how
because if it's the Penguin, like they got to do fucking 3+ hours of
and then you got to turn
prosthetics.
it all into the studio, and then they got to put all that stuff in.
And like I'm saying,
they're
with
not just doing this week
CGI,
by week. They got to green light your season,
right?
And then they got to.
Well, usually you get green lighted, and then all the rest of that comes.
I know, but then after that, then they choose how are we going to drop this. It's marketing. It's not like we have a timeline. We have all these episodes done. How are we going to market this?
Well, why are they distributing half of the season? Because they only
trying
did
to sell
half.
New marketing.
I think because they only did half. I think because they're not done.
I think. That's just how they chose to market it. It's a new way of marketing.
I think it's like you're saying where they did the whole season
do it week by week, or we could release it all right now, or we could try this new thing and see how this goes. We could end the season on a cliffhanger.
Or it's not even ending the season.
No, we could do
a halftime.
That's what I'm saying. Do a middle season cliffhanger, build up even more hype, and then drop it again.
My guess is that they only did 10 episodes, they did 10 episodes
why don't
later.
They do that anymore? Why don't they just keep doing that? Because I'm
Doing what? 10 episodes?
Why don't other shows keep doing that?
They have been doing it more and more.
What other one?
Like we were talking about a couple other shows that
Which one?
Stop halfway through.
Which ones?
We just named a couple.
We named 2, and they came out at the same time. So
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
It was
It's a market.
Invincible, The Boys. You named another one.
Yeah, and they all came out at the same time.
Right. This is like a new thing that's happening where they produce 10 episodes and then they're like, see you next year. And then next year they're like, here's 10 more episodes. And so I'm saying that like I think that they do 10 episodes and then they're like, we'll see you next year, and then they start recording the next 10 episodes.
So you think they're doing a cliffhanger?
Yes. I think that they do 10 episodes, expect at the end of the 10th episode to be a cliffhanger, and then between November to February, they spend each month recording until they have all the episodes ready, and then February comes and they're like, we have another 10 episodes, and then on the 20th episode is the finale.
So why do the cliffhanger if they're just going to take a break in the season?
So they can record more from November to February.
But why not already have it all recorded if you know what you're going to do?
I guess anticipation, or I don't know why they're doing it. I hate it. I wish they would stop doing it.
Alrighty, people, it's been another legendary episode of the Mack and Don Show. I hope you've enjoyed our mini antics and conversations for this week.
Yeah, our dichotomies and our synopsises on this fine afternoon.
Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the important stuff so that we can keep podding and keep the content coming. You know what I'm saying?
We keep it coming. That's for sure.
If you want to be on the pod, hit us up. We're always open for guests.
Please and thank you.
And if you enjoy our content, we appreciate you. What else you got, Don?
Don't forget to spread love and positivity out into the world, everybody. Especially with the tides turning. Spring right around the corner. So let's keep those positive attitudes and carry that into our everyday lives.
Yeah, for sure. Let's create world peace in the war in Ukraine or whatever.
Yeah, let's just end war and racism and all that. Let's just end it.
Yeah.
Let's just bring it to an end.
Yeah, we should be like that one meme where the black dude and the white dude do the little thing and they're like
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And, what's his name?
What'd
he just
you say?
Passed away. Whoa. That was a little close there. Carl Weathers? Carl Weathers?
There was one clip where someone said his name and they didn't even. Oh, I think it was Muhammad Ali. they said Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said, "You said what?"
Right.
He said it again. He said,
You can't say shit around these pods.
right.
They're gonna get your ass.
They gonna get you. They gonna definitely. AI's gonna get you. They're gonna say that you said some crazy stuff.
For real, you better watch what you say.
Yeah, like those dank memes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Where
like the COD shots, dank memes.
No, I'm more so talking about the one where he takes like interviews and stuff, and he makes people say crazy stuff just by chopping it up.
Yeah, like Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Those ones.
Love that.
Either way, they're gonna do that to us, so we
Don't
can
let
claim
them deep fake us.
Yeah, we can just claim AI if any of this comes back on us.
And AI.
CTE, AI. There's so many excuses nowadays. Either way, but there's no excuse for you to not subscribe to our YouTube channel.
No excuse.
Y'all have a good one, and it's been a great Mack and Don show. We'll be back next time.